I think we're live. Welcome to the Tesla Talks podcast, folks. I'm here solo by myself. I'm just waiting for, if you see the actual title, you'll know what I'm doing. Charge across Canada, Jef and Cyril. I'm just waiting for them to call me, and we're going to try to do a little interaction with them. So let me just, while I'm waiting for other people to come in, while I'm waiting for him to call, let me just see if we're getting anything here. So sorry if the audio is not the greatest. I'm doing my best, so bear with me. Uh, we'll figure out the audio and do the best we can. I just want to see if we'll figure out the audio. Yeah. Okay, we are live. I just want to double check that we were. So I'm just waiting for them to call me. They're supposed to call me any second now. Maybe that's the problem with these things. They may be in a dead spot. They may have not got the message. We were ironically. Oh, here he comes, coming in now. So just bear with me here. I'm going to try to accept it here, and then I will try to put them on. Hey guys, just give me 1 second. I'm going to try to bring you in live here. It's loading. It's loading. Hey. Hey guys, you are live with YouTube. Say hi to YouTube.
Hello.
Now, like I said, folks, before these guys came in, hopefully the audio sounds half decent. Hopefully it's not too muffled or they're not too low and I'm too loud or vice versa. These guys, where are you right now, by the way?
Canada. We're passing a snowplow right now.
Oh, see, this is what I have to put up. Last time I checked with them, they were somewhere between northern New Brunswick and Quebec border. Are you still there?
We just left Woodstock where we had dinner and we're heading to Rivière-du-Loup.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, last time we spoke was
5 minutes ago.
What was that called? No. Where we started off from. St. John what? St. John's, Newfoundland. St. John's H-E-double-L. That's what it was.
Yes. Before, let me set this up. We have the two drivers that are attempting this trek. We have Jef Fisher on the right of your screen. He's the one driving. That's why he's not looking at the camera, which is good. And Cyril Wheeler, he's the one that's pointing to Jef. He's the one with the toque that he's here for comedy entertainment. And I think you're driving every now and then, right? Are you guys splitting it pretty good?
You should see. I have so many pictures of Jef sleeping while I'm driving. It's not even funny. No, it's not even funny. Sleeping while I'm driving. Yeah, we got autopilot, right? So he was sleeping while he was driving as well, and sleeping in the passenger seat while I was driving.
Oh, really?
No.
So people at home may believe that. So let's dispel that myth. Nobody was sleeping while the autopilot was on. From I spoke to you guys this morning. From what I heard, you guys couldn't afford to have the luxury of just sitting back and having it easy across Newfoundland, could you?
The first 3 quarters was smooth. Yeah, because I was driving.
and once again, you guys started from. Sorry, once again, you guys started from Newfoundland. Mile zero.
We have video of it. Yeah. It was really good. It was fine. State of charge was good, right? Everything was going our way. Battery management, consumption was all good. And then Jef started driving. I let him explain what happened. It started snowing. Excuses. And did it ever snow? I mean, that was probably up there with the most intense snow drives. But in Newfoundland, they haven't invented snowplows, streetlights, snowplows, or even on traffic. There was nothing. We were alone in the mountains on a road that didn't want to exist. And it was rapidly getting deeper and deeper. We had snow coming over the windshield, it was really hard to figure out where the road was and the ruts. It was intense. And then we realized that we had quite a buffer to get to the ferry.
We started out with a buffer.
Yeah. It disappeared very quickly.
Very quick.
Yeah.
The wind, the drifting snow.
Yeah. So we had wind, snow, ruts, like deep snow on the road, still falling. Sometimes it was complete whiteouts. It was really, really intense. But I think I taught Cyril a few tricks about how to get the extra mileage out of the battery that we somehow.
Yeah. He pretty much taught me nothing.
Yeah.
But how to hold on to the holy crap handle. But so we had to really manipulate, the 8-track with the car, the speed, trying to find a ruts to drive in because it was just and it just ate up our consumption.
It was like a constant numbers check to measure exactly what was going on with the battery. It was intense.
Over an hour. Like, we're not just talking like it just all of a sudden the storm hit. It creeped up on us, and our consumption usage wasn't.
Yeah.
Kilometers, consumption, and temperature.
Elevation was important.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. You guys were cutting out a little bit there. I apologize for anyone that's listening. This is live, folks. This is live. This is technology. When they're hurtling down the highway at 100 kilometers an hour, going through different valleys and peaks and stuff like that, this stuff's gonna happen. So hopefully their connection will improve in a little bit. But they were talking to me. Let me see if maybe it's my connection. Let me see if I can get rid of that. And I'll get them to call back. This is like what they were talking about with the snowstorm and this happening now. I mean, it's just it's one of those things that could happen with anyone, right? So they're calling back, so let's see what happens. Hello.
Hey, we're back.
Okay, let me just get you back on the screen here. I apologize. I apologize to everyone.
That's okay. That's not what you usually do, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. I was explaining,
We're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
We're not going anywhere.
You're not going. Well,
Just explain to the people who are watching and the people who are listening. Just say, I had to go pee.
Oh, when you leave?
We lost connection. Cyril had to go pee.
So, okay, well, I don't want to get TMI, and for all the older people out there that don't know, that's too much information type of thing. But have you guys had any issues like that?
What's that?
Have you had any issues regarding that? Because that would be a concern for me.
No. Actually, we've been pretty good. I mean, Cyril hasn't realized that I've got a catheter.
I was gonna say, and I was just gonna say that, Jeff. I know you got a bag, but I didn't want to tell everyone that, right? Like, it was funny because I was gonna do like, how we do the little Facebook updates and stuff, right? So what was I gonna do? I was gonna put information that you didn't know about Jeff. The top 10 things you need to know about Jeff Fisher, right? And post one every day.
This is great. I can see you two certainly definitely have a chemistry which is needed. Like, I mean, when you're traveling in a car.
It's like nuclear fission.
Fusion. Not vision. Vision. Not nuclear fission. Fusion.
No, fission.
It's chemistry he's talking about. Yeah.
Anyway.
Not vision.
You know what? You guys have the next 3 days to
Turn up a hearing aid. Hang on a second.
you guys have the next 3 days to determine whether it's fission or fusion. So
he knows fusion. He does
Fission.
So before I lose you guys again, so getting back to that white knuckle nail biting experience, I mean, I get it. It's bad, and some of the naysayers of electric vehicles could say, hey, see, that's why you don't get an electric vehicle. But you know what? If you were low on gas in a gas car, um, it would be the same situation. Maybe not the heat part of it, but the same situation about wondering if you're going to get there and if you pass the last gas station that's opened, because like you guys, by the sounds of it, is pretty remote.
It was totally rude. Yeah. There's like, that's a 3-hour tour.
There was no one crazy
there.
enough to be there.
Yeah.
Wow.
From there down.
Wow.
See, the weather report had said that the ferry would be canceled because of a storm coming in the next day.
Yeah.
So that's when we decided to go quickly to catch the evening ferry before the snow came. But that's not what the snow did. So
Mother Nature decided something different.
But we kept calling ahead to the ferry, and they were so nice.
Like
they were great.
5 times we called ahead to the ferry, telling them where we were, and when we ran out of 0%, we ran out of battery, and we made it into the charger. You know, we got what 5%?
5%
to get us
onto
the ferry,
and off.
to get us off the ferry to the charger.
Wow.
Right. As soon as we got there, like 11:05.
Yeah.
They like turned the lights off.
They literally turned the lights off.
And let us drive. And let us drive in. So, like Jef has said before, we wish that every customer service person would come from Newfoundland. Right?
They were
They're
so nice,
pleasant. Right?
Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
I've
Absolutely wonderful.
I've heard that about East
The
Coasters.
East Coast people.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
So true.
They give the shirt off their back. Now you were talking about you hit 0. You mean 0 miles left or 0%, or both?
Well, we were in negative.
We were negative percentage.
We're negative percentage. At one point, we were like negative 10 on the battery percentage.
It actually goes negative?
Yeah, it goes red, it goes negative. So this is what we were fighting, right? We were playing with the battery, and I said, okay, when we get down to like 3 or 4%, we really got to get close. Like, we got to monitor this closely. When we're getting like 1-to-1 from kilometer to kilometers on our, like, where ETA is, we have to monitor things very closely and start playing with the 8-track and slowing our speed down. And all these things that are happening in the background, we're trying to like manipulate.
But it was even harder than that, because you're not just slowing down, because you had to have momentum in the snow.
Right. And you know, we can't do anything about Mother Nature, right? Yeah. But what we can do is control some of the features of the car to draw out our range, right? So that's what we were working with, and we were working with that for over an hour in our drive.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
Wow.
And when we left Deer Lake, everything said that, hey, we're good. We have 10%.
No, we had more than that. It was a long haul. We had like 20% buffer.
We had 20% buffer, right? And you know, you see how close.
And the car's been performing so well. Like every other leg we did, we were you know, I mean, we were much better than the rest.
Exceeding the expectations of the car, right? And when we rolled in, we were 16 kilometers away. We were still on 0, and we're just going down a hill.
Yeah.
So we were on worse than our last legs getting there, right? But kudos to the car. Jef, he was driving. I'll give you that. But I was telling him what to do, right? So that's what made it work.
Cyril was crying.
I was crying because I had to make the car get there. You were just driving, right? You did the easy part. I was playing with the screen and the 8-track and all that kind of stuff.
But see, this is what I'm talking about. This is the expertise.
Don't try this at home.
I was gonna say.
Understand everything? Don't do it.
Cyril, you being a Tesla tech, you know the car inside and out. You know the behind the guts of the car, how everything works and stuff like that. And Jef has been driving EVs for almost a decade, if not more. That he knows that part of it too. So both of your combined knowledge, I mean, goes a long way.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we complimented each other to get there, right? Like
with insults.
Yeah, with insults to boot, right? I never killed him. He never killed me.
Yet? Well, you're not even in Quebec yet. Come on.
Just even let me go into Walmart to buy a knife. Like, it's like, why do you want to buy a knife? And I'm like, it's a good tool to have in case, something happens. I can cut my shoelace and I can tie something together.
Yeah. You
He
don't
thought the knife was I was going to stab him, right? Like,
stab him in his sleep.
ridiculous, my mom.
No,
It
you
was
guys have a
like,
good chemistry.
Yeah, all's well that ends well, right?
And how's your energy, or is there any fatigue so far? I mean, I don't want to jinx you.
No, like we're still struggling because today we had the same, symptoms, right?
We had heavy snow this morning.
You know, we charged up enough, right? We try to learn from the lesson that we experienced the night before, and we still pulled up short, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like with like pretty close to 0%.
It has a bigger buffer and everything
We have a
else.
bigger buffer, right?
Again today?
This morning, yeah. First run this morning. I thought we learned something, but obviously we didn't.
No, well, let's.
The breathing conditions we thought were going to be much better this morning than they were last night, but they weren't.
They were.
Yeah.
So we hit a
Their
few.
nature, yeah.
It was different though, but we had a few drifts again with snow coming right up over the car. It was and there's no way you can do anything but hit them hard enough to get through them. And visibility was not good. A truck came at us almost sideways around the corner. So
What? Wow.
Yeah, that's because again, Jef was driving, right? In the truck lane, on the oncoming lane. And I'm saying, Jef, move over, give him some room. So as he's moving over to give the trucker some room, which is clearly his lane, right? The truck starts to swerve, and I'm like, accelerate! Like, with the accelerator, man. This trailer is going to come and swing and take us out, But I remember, I got to be one step or two steps ahead because Jeff's reaction time is pretty slow. I mean, he's pretty old, right? It's not as quick as it used to be.
do you know what embellish means?
Did you spell it?
This is how we sort of.
And that's good. That's good. Like, and like I said, it sounds like you guys are still on your high, and there's no fatigue yet. I mean, are you guys have a system in terms of, are you alternating every single time?
I think that's what we're going to try and work out.
We're figuring out the system.
12 hours, whether we do short shifts of rest and driving or not. But if we weren't talking to you now, Cyril would be sleeping, and we've decided that we can top whenever we need to stop.
We need to stop. We need to stop. Period. Right. There's no question about it. Right.
We try and do it charger to charger, but if one driver gets tired, there's no point suffering. We should switch right away.
Perfect. Good idea. Yeah.
And he said there's no point in suffering, and I'm dealing with him. I'm already suffering.
Well, see, and I was thinking, like, I mean, ideally, when one person's driving, the other person's resting. But when you're having the bad weather like you did, and the passenger has to be the co-pilot, you're both on edge, right? So there's no sleep there. But hopefully you don't have that bad weather.
Yeah, well, we had the ferry to recover a little bit because the ferry we did get a sleep afterwards. But we woke up to heavy snow again. I think the same cloud followed us. And continued
black cloud over our heads, right?
Yeah. Have you guys been following the forecast to see what?
Well, we tried to. Yeah, we started off trying to.
But it lies.
Yeah. We're trying to say, okay, well, this thing's going to move out. It's going to move out. Just going like, look, Cyril, it's moving across the radar. I'm going like, it's right in our face, man. It ain't moving anywhere. And we better go, right? That's all I say. I always say that. Right? We gotta go. And he's like trying to talk sense to me, like, hey, Cyril, like, we shouldn't go. Let's get more charge and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I know this car. We don't need it. Let's go. We gotta go. We gotta beat this storm. And then I start bitching about, like, hey, we should have had a full charge. And I told you we should have got up earlier. And yeah, I was riding like mad, crazy.
But in a wholesome, nice way, obviously. Yeah.
And can you, if any listeners are available, if I drop him off, will anyone volunteer to pick him up?
Hey, and if something breaks down, at least I can fix it. But the minute he drops me off, it's the minute his car's gonna break down. I tell you that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the frozen fruit. I told him to walk. He's trying to blame me. He picks me up with a nice clean car, and I really appreciate that, right? You know, people who knows me when they bring their cars to me, they know I don't like it dirty and I don't like mess, right? So he brings me a nice clean car, which I appreciate. But then the front froze. And we couldn't get the Chatamo out to the first stop that we had to charge.
Oh no.
Isn't that fitting? So he tried to blame me because I wanted the car washed. I said, wash the car, but don't freeze the front latch, right? I didn't say that, right?
No, he didn't.
So then we had to try to pick the latch. I had to get it open enough so we could spray WD-40 in there and, bring it back to life so it opens so we get the Chatamo adapter so we can charge fast. Or
So,
fast-ish.
lesson learned, don't put anything in the front that's essential.
Well, yeah, we've always said that since
Yeah.
day 3 with Model 3, as soon as Model 3 came out. We're like, don't put any groceries or anything essential, in the front in the wintertime, right?
Yeah.
But then you got to put your wash fluid. Jeff's going like, oh, put the wash fluid in the back in case it freezes then again. We're going like, what's the sense, man? That's where we got to get to put the washer fluid. What makes you take a hose outside the window?
That's
Take
true.
the catheter out and use that hose to put the wash fluid in.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
So I've taught Cyril a few things about the car, but he's got a bit more to learn on it.
Have you guys hit Quebec yet? From talking for the last 20 minutes?
The next 2 or 3 hours, I think.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, on this lake.
2 or 3 hours, that's what it says on the thing. But Jeff's driving, so 6 hours maybe.
For everyone at home that may be not familiar, that's watching or listening, now the way it works with Newfoundland, there's no superchargers on that island at all. Everything was Chatamo or CCS public chargers that are capped out at 50 kilowatts, right? So when you guys were stopping, what was your average charging time and charging percentage you guys were charging to?
Well, it was anywhere between 20 to 44 kilowatts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right?
it wasn't even 50.
We didn't get 50. No.
Wow.
And we tried.
No, I did. I think I remember seeing a 47, but
Yeah, 47, but he said 50, not 47.
no.
We never saw 50.
Because of the
To
cold.
answer your question correctly, never saw 50. Maybe 47 at its peak.
But I've had the Chatamo for a long time, and I have seen it before, but very rare.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you run into the other problem, right? Like charging time is okay because we can expect it. We know it's 44 kilowatts. We know we're not getting anywhere fast like a Tesla network, obviously.
Yeah.
But we're getting the best that we can, so we got to deal with it, right?
Mhm.
The bad thing that I see, which Jeff had pointed out to me, was if someone else plugs into it, they're going to suck up half your kilowatts.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if someone uses the level, the one beside it, right?
Yeah, well, that's what the level 2. The charge point, you can only use the CCS for the Chatamo. So
Yes.
if one person is charging at that station, no one else can charge.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a nightmare.
So there's going to be like I understand like people want to get around and see like the island, like Newfoundland. It's fantastic. It's beautiful, even in the wintertime. The scenery is beautiful, right? And in the summertime, it's just going to go berserk. It's going to be like really sweet. But the infrastructure has to change. They got to do something about that because, feeling in the wintertime, we're feeling it at its worst. But now we even know that even at its best, it's really minimal. Like if someone pulls up, and because there's only 2 spots,
There's not enough.
there's not enough chargers there, right? And let alone.
And we did see EVs. We saw Teslas and
Teslas and Hyundais.
Ionic 5 and so
Nice.
So as the community grows and it gets more popular or more people are traveling there with their EVs because hey, it's the best way to travel. There's going to be roadblocks on that island, right?
Yeah.
Like here across Canada we're good. We're in a good situation, but there it's bad. I call it the way I see it, right?
But going back to using the Chatamo for that long over that distance made me feel like driving my Leaf, and it's the reason why I switched to the Tesla.
Oh, yeah. I guess a lot can be said. Now, you guys are in New Brunswick. You got off the ferry in Nova Scotia, and now you're in New Brunswick, and now you're predominantly on superchargers, right? And
Yes.
We are back on the supercharger.
Yeah, we charged as long as we could to hit that first supercharger. I'm telling you, we did not want to go back and take that Chatamo out again. But you know, if you're gonna go on that island, I would say anyone get a Chatamo, get an adapter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially now, like we're in -16 right now, and the rate of speed of charge and managing the battery and everything else to get the distance we need, or the best distance possible on the Tesla network is just so much easier.
It's night and day.
The amount of numbers we'd have to run and calculate and time and everything on the island to get from A to B was
difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult.
And then you throw in.
You can't use your screen. You've got to use apps. You've got to use plug share.
Yeah.
You've got to use.
Make sure that people who were just there recently, so they're still active.
Yeah.
They're still working. We ran into one that had a blank screen.
We had a blank screen.
15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, and we had to call them, and they couldn't find their charger that we were at on their end.
It was in
Cornerbrook.
Yeah, Cornerbrook.
Wow.
And then we had another one that only charged at 16. So, I mean, we weren't going to wait there for it. We just took enough to get to the next charger and hope that it works, right?
Yeah.
So there's that to deal with too, right?
Yeah.
And that's in the worst, and we're doing it obviously in the worst conditions.
Yeah.
Right. So imagine in the best conditions. Yeah, is it going to be a little bit better? A little bit better, but it might not be either, right? Like because of all the what ifs, right? What if there's more EVs in that area, right? Like you're going to have to wait. You know, what if you're in a rush trying to get a ferry? You're going to be late, or you're going to miss it. You know.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You know what, guys? Actually, you know what I should say. If anyone's watching this or listening to this, and they want to follow you guys, if you go to my Twitter account, which is on Twitter, it's at Tesla_talks. I put a tweet out there yesterday morning where they left, and I'm just adding to the tweet as we go down. And in that main tweet, it has a URL that has a tracker in the second tweet, where anyone can track you guys as you go and show your accumulated time and your accumulated distance and where you are at any given time, which is really cool. People can watch you guys. But I got a couple questions. You guys mind answering a couple questions from some? Yeah. Okay. One guy here on what's that?
All about money for this guy.
How much you paying us?
One guy on Twitter, his name is at
$1 million.
Revan2Red. He asked, and a lot of people, it's a good question because a lot of people would want to know, which Model 3 are you guys using? SR Plus, dual motor, which kind?
It's a 2021 dual motor.
Long range,
right? But dual motor is now the long range.
Yes, dual motor is long range. But for those who don't know,
and we have vision, not radar, and that's been another problem.
Oh, tell me about that.
Well, we've had pretty horrendous conditions, but even when it was in the best of conditions, I give up on vision because this road's covered in salt, so the contrast is very poor. And basically, since I left Quebec on the way to pick Cyril up in Halifax, I stopped using it. I'll use cruise control, just basic cruise control.
But even it breaks.
And still you have to be. You know, when you see that the contrast in the road, the lines are there, you can put it on for a bit. But I'm not confident enough to keep it on and sit back and let the car drive.
Interesting. And you're talking about phantom braking.
Yes.
Cyril, too. Yeah, you're mentioning that. What version is your car on? Do you know?
Sorry, we're on the latest.
Cyril's checking right now.
Yeah, it's.
All the nerds want to know. This is like nerdy stuff, which is good.
Okay, so yeah, 2022 4, 5, 3.
Okay, so 5.3, right? Okay, that's one of the latest ones. I think 5.4 is obviously the safety score beta. Yeah. Actually, I was talking to Mother Franklin, and we were saying it's too bad the timing, the way it worked out, because oh, by the way, Jeff, does that car have a FSD or just a autopilot?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. We were saying it's too bad that timing and how it was, and if you have FSD and you had the beta, can you imagine driving coast to coast on the beta and see how that would work?
Yeah.
If it would have been possible.
I got FSD on my car.
Yeah.
So you have my car.
Yes, I'm babysitting your car, and it's quite warm and cozy in the garage, as you saw. And it's very good. I got another question from another.
You tracked it earlier. It's in the body shop, Cyril.
Jeff, you weren't supposed to tell him that.
Wow, he went there. He went down that road. All right, Jeff. You got one. You got me.
Okay. There's another question here from a guy or a person named at RST, or I guess Rstrad. Are there enough superchargers along the trip to perform 20 to 80% charges, which gives you the quickest charges and the shortest time? Far too many people try to charge to 90-95%, which almost doubles the charge time.
Yeah, here, like from Nova Scotia on.
So as of a few hours ago for our trip, yes. But once you get into Nova Scotia and you're not going straight to Halifax, then you're off the Tesla network, and you've got to have an adapter. Yeah, it's a whole different world.
Yeah, but be mindful of also too, like,
these are 150s.
They're 150s, and you need to drive to the conditions, right? So all these variables are factoring into how much you're going to charge, right? Am I going to charge 20% and get out? Am I going to charge 8% and then get out, right? Like, we're always playing around with those numbers, like how fast, can we get to the next charger? How much charge do we need? What are the weather conditions, right? What are we going to drive through? We shut the heat off and say, okay, let's shut the heat down and do 110, okay? Or let's do one, maybe we want to do 120, and change our
you need to learn the conditions so that you can adapt if you need to.
Yeah, to your charging, right? To your charging rate.
Yeah,
you need to know. There's no other way, to do it. You can't just,
wing it.
Even if you're just trying to get from A to B in an electric car, you really need to focus on this number.
And just because you do one leg at a certain amount of consumption, you can't
take that to the next leg.
Yeah. You have to pay attention. Well, we're talking winter, right? So right now I just looked. We've been sort of minus 10 all day. Now it's minus 18.
Wow.
So if you're not paying attention, that changes a lot of things, and you have to know.
You have to be mindful of everything, that affects your charge time.
Yeah.
Which affects your SOC, right?
Yeah.
And your ETA and your time. So much stuff plays into factory, right? Like, so for the average person to just jump into a car, like, and do what we do,
especially a new owner.
Yeah, and new owners, we see them all the time, right? Everyone sees the Facebook post, right? Like, oh my God, I used 50%, or I used 30% of my range in a short period of time. Well, yeah, that's a real thing, right? Tesla doesn't educate the people; they just want the people to buy the car, walk away, right? But education is key, and you get educated about all these things that we're doing, the better off you're going to become.
And this is what you guys are doing. You guys are bringing awareness to the general public by doing this, right?
Even bringing it to us as we go.
We've learned. I've taught Cyril a lot.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean. A lot of people would argue and say, you know what, no one in their right mind in 2022 should be buying such a highly technical car without doing their own homework. But I agree, Tesla should be doing a better job of orientating new owners, but at the same time, new owners have a responsibility to educate themselves too. So it's a little bit of both. I get it.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
But and we know we have so much information out there, like on the internet, right?
And we've got a full-time, real-time, or not real-time, but we've got a dash cam running. So we've recorded everything, the conditions we've been in. So anyway, Dax, you got some editing to do when we get back.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the footage. Okay.
We're taking the audio out because it's not child-friendly or even adult-friendly, I think.
Okay, you know what? I'm so bad for paying attention to the chat in the YouTube chat as we go along, but I just looked at it. Force 3 has a question here. Do you guys have roof insulation on this car?
Yes, and I noticed on Drive Tesla Canada, one of our breaks, that somebody questioned whether we should have it if we're trying to test a typical EV.
Oh,
trip.
yeah.
And I think that that the advantage of having it has been proven. I really think this car is performing and exceeding our expectations. And it keeps the cabin warm, right? It's comfortable.
Yeah.
So it's not like we couldn't do it if we didn't have it.
Yeah.
But it's retaining the heat in the cabin better so that we stay warm. And the heat pump's working less.
Yeah, so let's say that we were trying to manipulate. Well, we're trying to manipulate the heat, right? Like we're shutting the HVAC down. We're trying to get more like battery life, right? So, and we want to stay somewhat warm, right?
Yeah.
So obviously the heat that we're retaining by having the insulate and on the roof is keeping that, right? Now, I have a foam, like a thick foam one, 2-piece foam one. And this one is from EV Insulate, right? It does the same job, right? We just want to keep the heat in. And Jef has the whole battery hoses wrapped and the foam on the battery pack as well. And, unless I try something and I want to know for myself before anyone asks me the question, I want to have like a product that's been tried, tested, and true to the market by myself, right? Not when anyone else's data comes, not what the salesperson's data is done. But I feel that like running last night through all that snow and cold, and the battery, I never saw the battery, the blue snowflake come on the battery.
We haven't seen a snowflake.
No.
That is incredible. That says a lot.
And the car was on the cold ferry, so it would have, I think my other car, my SR Plus would have.
SR Plus one too.
Yeah, but prior to the
insulate.
Yeah.
So it can be done without these items, right? Without these
definitely
aftermarket add-ons. The car would obviously do it, but did it help? Yeah, I would.
I think so, yes. And the other thing too is with my regular work, I make many short trips in a day, so I leave it like for an hour at a client's place, and I think that's where it retains. Are much more efficient over the course of the day.
Yeah, I get you, and I agree with you. You seem to be breaking up a little bit there, so maybe that is a sign. Maybe we should wrap this one up. Let you guys get back down to driving. What's your ETA to the next charger, and what's that one? Moose signs.
We'll get there around 11:44. We have another hour and 47. We've got 168 kilometers to go to the next charger.
And what's that one?
Riviera de Lou.
Oh yeah, so you said that earlier. Oh, so you guys are an hour ahead still, right? It's 10 o'clock there almost.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock.
Okay, here as I'm recording this, it's just before 9 p.m. So that's good to know. Okay, so if anyone watching this later or right now and has questions for these guys as they trek across the country, leave it either down in the comments below of this, or go to my Twitter page and leave the question there, or leave a question on the tracker. There's a little chat box on that tracker page. You guys can leave questions there. I'm going to try to monitor all of them and collect the questions, and try to check in with these guys maybe tomorrow, if not tomorrow, the next day, and we'll check in and see how their drive's going. See if we check in the next time and there's only one person in the car, then we know who got kicked out. Yeah.
It's on his car. I put the app of his car on my phone, so now I can come out.
Yeah. Well, guys, you guys have a safe trip. Be careful.
Thank you.
And have fun. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
It's really nice to talk to somebody else for a few minutes.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah. No, and listen, you guys are only like the first day and a half in. I mean, what? You're anticipating it?
More than half.
No, because we have to drive the car out there.
Oh, true. See, people forget about that.
With his antics and his shenanigans for a long time.
See, people forget about that. And I was mentioning it to somebody else. It's like to do a trip across a country, any country, if you think about it, from
Twice.
one end to the other, you really have to do twice unless you leave the car there, which no one's really going to do unless that's the situation. But if the situation is where it's your car, you got to do it twice. So, or at least one and a half.
Yeah, it's happening twice. It's documented anyways.
Yes. Okay, guys. Well, I'll let you go get back to driving and stuff like that, and we will see you guys hopefully tomorrow or next day. I'll get in touch, and I'll try to give people that are watching at home a little more notice than what I did today. Today was sort of last minute.
Last minute shell shock. Right?
Yeah.
Actually, you may never want to do another one.
Yeah, maybe you don't want to do another one after this.
No, I love the stories. Like the stories. Before you go, Cyril, just show everyone the view out the road, out the windshield there. See what you guys can see.
See that okay?
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, the headlights were great. So that is the view. Maybe next time I call you guys, we'll just leave the camera like that, so we don't have to see your ugly faces. We can just see that.
I mean, his ugly face.
Yes, you beauty queen. Okay, guys, drive safe, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Good night.
Thank you, guys.
See you guys. Take care.
Hey.
Okay. We'll just end that there. Okay, so thanks for everyone joining us. Like I said, I apologize. I'm going to give you guys more notice next time. It was last minute to see if they would get a good connection and see. And that's the thing. If I schedule something for like Wednesday at 8 p.m., Wednesday night or something, or even Wednesday in a day, they could happen to be in an area that doesn't have good reception. So I'll do my best to give you guys as much notice. If you have any questions for these guys as they travel across, either leave it down in the comments below this video or go to the Twitter post that I've posted on Twitter at Tesla_talks and look for the post that I put there for these guys, and then leave the question down below there or on Facebook or whatever, and I'll get the question on for next time that we talk to these guys. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.